Will Arbb squeeze all the way upwards of the $20 levels by next week, Monday, or is this a ticker which has already ran its course and should be locking your profits and walking away from? What's up, trading friends? Today, we're discussing Arbb under three different lenses: the why, the what, the where. The why, we're going to discuss exactly why is this ticker up so massively in the after hours. I mean, I'm talking about over a whopping 50%. Then the what, we're going to be doing some stock analysis. The where, I'm going to be telling you guys where to get in, where to get out. So without further ado, if this is the type of video you like, hit that thumbs up button. We only have one goal, to be at 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Call me crazy, but I think we can do it. So without further ado, let's get cooking. So when it comes to Arbb, guys, this is a ticker which has gone absolutely parabolic, guys, in the after hours. Now, why do we want to talk about the why? We want to talk about the why because we want to analyze whether or not there's any longevity to this move or not, and can I actually build on this move, or is this just a random pump which is going to be here today, gone tomorrow? Now, in the case of Arbb, it's the latter. Okay, it's the latter. It's a random pump which is here today, gone tomorrow, right? I mean, we don't know if it's here today, gone tomorrow, but at least from the validity perspective, from the validity standpoint of news and an actual catalyst, there is none. There is none to be found, okay? So with that said, we're going to put the news as bad. Now, the reality is that the news isn't bad, but it is weak, meaning that there is no news, right? If the stock was trading flat and there was no news, that would be good, right? It would be like, okay, it would be the same thing. But considering it's up 50% for no reason, the news becomes bad, right? I hope that makes sense. Now, the next thing which we want to talk about is going to be the what, right? Now, when it comes to the what, right, so many traders confuse what the what really means, right? And they start doing company analysis instead of actually doing stock analysis. My friends, you're not company investors, you are stock traders. How does the stock move? The stock market moves based off of supply and demand. When there's limited supply, prices go up. When there's demand, when there's a limited demand and supply increases, prices go down. Supply and demand. All you want to always think about is in relationships between these two, supply and demand, supply and demand. When you're buying, your demand. You're saying, I want one stock, your demand. When you're selling, you are supply. You're saying, here, take it. I am a supplier of this stock. Take it away. When there's more supply than demand, prices go down. That's it, all right? Now, so the first thing which we want to do when it comes to stock analysis is going to be first understanding how much supply even really is there to begin with. In the case of Arbb, the company has a free float of less than 1 million shares, which is very volatile, with a market cap of sub 20 million, $11 million. So very, 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 very volatile ticker, right? So we're going to put volatility as amazing. Now, here's the thing about volatility is that it's a double-edged sword, right? Because just as fast as things can go up because of volatility, just as fast things can come down because of volatility, right? So you got to manage your position sizing correctly. You got to manage your risk correctly here. Now, moving on to the next thing. The next thing which we want to look at is going to be, again, supply, right? Supply and demand. Supply and demand, supply and demand, supply and demand, right? And understanding the relationship between these two. Now, what if I told you that it's not just you and I who are adding supply and being demand, okay? So who else can be demand if not just the retail? Well, from a demand perspective, we have institutional investors, right? So let's go over here and let's look at what is the institutional ownership. Well, the institutional ownership of Arbb is 0.1%, meaning the hedge funds don't really like it too much. So terrible, okay? Terrible overall. Now, that's the demand perspectives. The supply, who else can be the supply? Can the institutions be supply? Well, yeah, the institutions can be supply, but just as much as they can be demand, right? And if there's no demand in them, then there's not going to be much supply in their hands to pump into the market, dump into the markets. But do you know who else can be supply and is the most demonic? I don't know if that's the word for it. I don't know why I said demonic. I just watched the Conjuring, the new Conjuring movie a couple of nights ago, so I think maybe that's why I said demonic. That makes no sense. How could it? The worst of the worst, okay, the worst of the worst supply of all time is going to be none other than the company itself. The company itself, when they come out with a dilution, when they come out with an offering, when they come out with a private placement, whatever type of dilution it is, that's them adding supply into the markets. Okay? And guess what? This is the worst thing about their supply. The worst thing about their supply is that they don't even need to first be demand. Every other type of supply, every other supplier is initially demand. They buy it first, their demand first, then they sell it and their supply. Oh, the shorts. Well, the shorts work in the opposite. First they're the supply, they sell, then they have to become demand eventually. So demand is part of the process of their execution. But the company itself, no, the company is never demand. The companies just create supply. They can just poof, Oh, we didn't buy any. Poof, we just have supply here. Sell shares, right? So we want to analyze whether or not this company is going to do something like that or not. And the first thing we want to look at is going to be the company's financials. Now, when we look at the financials, we're not looking at growth year over year, the earnings per share. No, that's investing. That's boring. You don't look at. I don't always tell you guys. I say, listen, you don't look at stocks that you're trading and stocks that you're investing in under the same lens. You do not. You do not do that. Because if you do that, first of all, none of these companies should be invested in. Call me crazy. I think none of these companies should be invested in, these freaking penny stocks, right? And, overall, right, you're just going to see a bunch of stocks that don't fit the criteria of what you look for. And then you're going to be like, oh, no, this isn't good. Or you're not going to understand the volatility of where it comes from. Again, going back to that supply and demand thing. Okay? So, with that said, the numbers which we want to look at is going to be how much cash does the company have right now? Are they in dire need of raising funds? So the number we look at is going to be the total cash and cash equivalents they have right now. This is based off of their most recent SEC filings compared to their operating expenses every 3 months. So the company's got 1.9 million. They're burning 1.09 million, leaving them with 5.3 months of cash. So they're kind of broke. All right, they got less than 6 months of cash. Yeah, they're broke. Okay, they're poor. All right. Now, the next thing which we're going to look at is going to be historically, how much have they added of this supply into the markets? Well, historically, this company actually hasn't added much. And what is the overhead supply? What the overhead supply signifies, remember how I said, they don't need to be demand? So the overhead supply, what it signifies is how much do they already have in the bag to add to supply? Like their overhead supply. I mean, it literally is in the name. Like how much supply do they have to be able to add to the markets? Okay, and it's low, so therefore they can't add that much either. However, this is a number with hey, yo, Susan, come up with an offering. Bing, right? It's in, faxed in. There you go. Oh, we are planning on raising $500 trillion at a price of $1 per share. It's over. It's done. Okay, so this can change very fast, and this can also change very fast. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. And for that reason, we're going to put it as okay, meaning that it's not impossible that they raise funds, considering they're broke. But right now, they don't have the opportunity of adding supply into the markets without anybody knowing, without having to disclose it at least, okay? So there's that. Now, with that said, the next thing we're trying to look at is going to the short interest of this ticker. What the hell are the shorts doing when it comes to ARBB? So let's take a look. So when it comes to the short interest of this ticker, the past 7 days, the short interest is down by 46%. The past day, it's only up 18%. So overall, pretty good short interest, actually, okay? Pretty good short interest. Again, we want to see the shorts fleeing. We don't want to see the shorts adding aggressively. Okay, so we're going to put this as okay. Overall, my friends, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When it comes to ARBB, this is a super, super tricky ticker. It's already up over 50% for no reason. Doesn't mean it can't continue going, because I told you guys it has a very low float, and it's possible for it to squeeze actually all the way upwards of the $15 levels, okay? I could see it heading all the way upwards of the $15 levels, which is a 50% move from the $9 levels that it's sitting at right now, okay? So that's extremely possible. However, we're going to need to see a lot of volume tomorrow morning. And, the way volume works, man, is that, it's volume is a fleeting, meaning that it could be here today, gone tomorrow. So we have volume right now, but we're not sure if we're going to get the same amount of volume on Monday. And another thing that makes, volume be so tricky is because there's only so much of it. Right? There's only so much of it. So let's say tomorrow morning, company XYZ comes out and says, hey, everyone, we cured cancer. The $2 penny stock company cured cancer. Well, all the volume in the market's going to be going there and trading that, and they're going to be leaving ARB in the air. And what's going to happen? They're going to sell off. Okay, so we're going to need volume, A, and B, we need to break above this $11 level. So what I would do, I would probably play the break of 11 is what I would do, right? And that's honestly what I would do when it comes to this ticker. I wouldn't try to play it near there because it can likely double top, right? It's very possible for it to double top at this $11.39 levels. Now, with that said, listen, if you guys want to trade alongside me every single day, right, and get live notifications right to your phone exactly when I'm buying, when I'm selling stocks, everything like that, check out our Discord. Okay? Our alerts, guys, are the only alerts which not only do we tell you guys when to get in, when to get out, we also tell you guys the stop loss and how much of your money to use as well. So we've came up with a neat system of using a $10,000 portfolio as a benchmark. Now, I trade out of a way bigger portfolio than a 10K. However, we use 10K as a benchmark, so you can go ahead and multiply and divide quickly. Let's say you have a 50K account, you multiply these share size by 5. Let's say you have a 5K account, you divide this by 2. Let's say you have a 30K account, you go ahead and you multiply this share size over here as by 3, right? Let's say you have a freaking 100K account, you multiply this by 10, right? On and on and on. So give it a shot, guys. We already have over 400 members coming back month after month. And right now, actually, we do have a quick little sale going on where the next 10 members that join, they get access to the Discord for a 50% discount limited to the next 10 members that join. So a little bit of an urgency for you guys to reward the people that are action takers, right? And listen, you're right to be skeptical. You should be skeptical, but this is what makes our Discord different is that we give you access to it for a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee. Previously, guys, we used to do a 7-day free trial and a 2 weeks free, 7 days free trial, but now we're doing a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee on top of it. So Wilson says, "Hi Sam, thank you for all welcome to the community. My 7-day free trial finished. It was great. I think you can afford a membership after this week. 7K in 7 days he brought in. Let's jump to present day. Do you think he's coming back? I think he's coming back. But look at this, literally new member. Justin says, up almost 10K since joining the Discord Wednesday. Time to celebrate." And he posted this on he posted this at like 12 a.m. On Saturday, so this was pretty much Friday. On Friday, Michael says, "Thank you, Sam, for ProJS. Love you, best Discord in the world. $4,000 on the day. My man, I ProJS a nice day, payday for Friday. Bang. That's what I'm talking about. Great month, guys. Loving the swing alerts. These are all from swing alerts. I sold too early on a lot of them too. I'll be up way more if I listen to Sam. Lesson learned." So 12% on the month, which is pretty, pretty cool. And, these are all from the swing alerts. He said, we've been crushing it. We've been crushing it, guys, day in, day out. That's why people are coming back, because they're making money. So what I would do if I was in your situation, I would join. I would see if I make money. If I make money, I'll come back for more. If I don't make money, I'll pack my bags and I'll leave. So the Discord will give you access to our day trade alerts, swing alerts, option alerts. We do have different mentors allocated to each section, right, who are freaking, geniuses when it comes to options trading or swing trading or day trading, right? Because I think so many times when you join these Discords, man, you find the main guy who wants to act like they know everything. Oh, I know trading, I know investing, I know crypto, I know, no, that's not me. That is not how I move, okay? I know what I know and I stick in my lane, right? And that's why we have different mentors for the options and for everything like that. But again, it's working and that's why people are coming back. So what I would do is I would go about it easy, right? I would try the 2 weeks free trial, see if I make money. If I make money, I'll come back. If I didn't make money, I'll pack my bags and leave. Just trying to do something. I know I keep saying that. Why do I keep saying that? I keep repeating the same fucking 2 sentences, but I think that makes sense. Okay? Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Happy listening trading. And yeah, give it a shot. And remember, my friends, don't give up, don't quit, because 90% of traders are not unprofitable. 90% of traders just quit before they become profitable. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Your boy Sam.